routine flight between Sydney and LA for Oceanic Flight 815. Until... now, lost on a mysterious island, the survivors have more to fear than survival itself.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You killed us all.
Nothing is real!
Namaste, thank you, and good luck.
I think your friends just blew themselves up, brother.
I just saved us all.
I've got to go, and you've got to get as far away from here as possible.
Go where? Stop!
I'm gonna blow it down, Tom.
Who are you people? We're the good guys, Michael.
You push the button. That's an order.
All we really need to survive is one person who truly loves us.
Miss Whitmore, I think we found it.
This is the Lost Initiative from Sky One.
Hello, I'm Ian Lee, and this is The Lost Initiative, your definitive guide to episode 21, Greatest Hits. Also this week, we bring you an exclusive chat with Marsha Thomason, who plays the mysterious parachute woman Naomi. We sent our very own Paul Terry for a chat. That's coming up later.
The Lost Initiative.
Joining me this week, special surprise guest, Paul Terry, editor of Lost Magazine.
Hello.
How's it going? You all right?
I'm very well, how are you?
I've got indigestion. And also got Geeky Tom.
Hello. Why did he get sent to the interview and not me? I thought I did the interview.
Yeah, you did the interviews, but we thought Paul might be able to do them well. So, let's talk about it later. Let's not fall out over that, shall we? Let's get on with the episode, because we have the return of Rousseau, the gratuitous exploding of a tree, and Jack has finally come up with a plan.
For the very first time, we know exactly what they want, when they're coming to get it, and they have no idea. And we're going to be waiting for them. So Juliet's going to mark the tents with the white rocks just like she was told to. But there's not going to be any pregnant women inside. There's going to be plenty of what we just used on that tree. So tomorrow night, we stop hiding. We stop running. We stop living in fear of them. Because when they show up, we're going to blow them all to hell.
Not much of a secret plan, is it? Because surely they've given the game away by blowing up a tree.
It was kind of like, for an example, but a very loud example. And
Why
very,
blow up a tree? Why just go,
example.
Here's some dynamite. Look, it's a case, it says dynamite.
Most people know how explosives work, what the effect is, so...
It goes bang.
They obviously had like...
It goes bang.
They obviously had $5,000 left over in the budget or something. They thought.
Maybe they didn't like the tree.
Well,
tree vendetta.
Does this mean we can trust Jack? Let's start with Jack first of all. Can we trust him now, Paul?
I don't know. He's very headstrong, but he's also a little bit frightening, a little bit intimidating. So, you can feel all the camp being a little bit, okay, we'll go with your plan, which is fairly gung-ho and, fairly uncompromising.
Very quiet and quite passive the last few episodes. To see him finally... And also, had people decided he was the leader? Didn't he say, I've been leading you for the last 90 days? Was he really?
I think, from the show, from the start, I guess he's been the leader of the beach camp.
Well, that was handed over to Sawyer.
Well, it was kind of Locke and then Sawyer, and it's been bounced around.
It was given to Sawyer on a plate, the leadership, and now suddenly Jack's taken it back.
Yeah, plate, Hurley.
Okay, so we're saying we can trust Jack, possibly.
I'd like to trust Jack. Yeah. I do want to trust Jack.
I think he's too simple to be evil.
You reckon?
To be evil takes brains.
He's very intelligent now, because he's a surgeon, isn't he? So he's got to study all that.
It's not intelligence, it's just memory. I could be a surgeon if I could memorise different parts of the body. It's easy.
The entire
He's
body.
Got a terrible memory. Okay, Geeky Tom, can we trust Juliet?
I don't think you can trust Juliet or Jack, I think.
Are they in cahoots?
No, there's something going on. They're either working as a separate group away from the others and the Losties, and it kind of shows that they went to get Rousseau instead of Saeed, like he said.
I didn't get that. When he got Rousseau, why not get Saeed to blow up the tents or...
Yeah, what's Rousseau done? She's a scientist. Saeed is an Iraqi killer, a hardened, stone-cold killer who can take people out.
Well, it's keeping it within their own new camp, isn't it? As you say, it's like a separate, group not telling anyone what
But
the
Jack-
which was.
Jack-
No, I'm saying it
Why do that?
was a little suspicious because
Jack
Saeed is the man.
has had very little contact with Rousseau, but I mean Locke and Sawyer and Saeed have had more contact with her. And
Very
Kate
true,
over
very true.
The last few episodes, so Jack has had very little to do with her. So it seems odd that he'd go and. Can I just interrupt very quickly? Is this true? Now, I don't know if anyone spotted this. I don't know if it's true. Someone's told me it could be a lost myth. I need to check over the weekend. Series 1, Saeed wakes up in Danielle Rousseau's camp. He's all tied up. She's putting the battery through. In the back of that shot, at some point, do we see the other wooden doll that Ben has one, the little girl has one?
Oh.
This is what someone told me. That
Really?
you can see it quite clearly in the
My
background.
God, if that is true, then they really have
That's
had a plan
huge.
all the way along.
Yeah, that's huge.
Okay, there's a hitch in Jack's plans, as there always are in great television shows, because Ben has brought the attack forward, prompting Alex to persuade Carl to warn the Losties. Why is Carl in hiding?
Because he escaped, didn't he, from the others in the brainwash room.
But he's not hiding that well or that far from them. It's just like in a cave, behind some leaves.
He's like a 15-year-old boy, isn't he? He's not like...
He looks like a young
like
Matthew...
John Rambo.
He's on that
young Matthew
experience, yeah.
Broderick, I thought.
He does a little bit.
Why does Alex... Any significance in her ripping open the...
White Rabbit.
I was quite scared by that.
Well, it's all the Alice in Wonderland references.
But it looked pretty gory.
Oh, because isn't the
Looking Glass?
It's the Looking Glass, isn't it? Is what the thing is called.
What's quite interesting though is like Ben comes back from whatever like Jacob's been telling him, really kind of panicked, and we need to kind of move everything forward.
Yeah.
So,
I liked everyone's reactions, like Richard Alpert's reactions. They all look completely like that was never going to be the plan, to move everything up by time frame, move everything
and
up.
to kill Locke as well.
We'll to kill everybody. We'll kill all the blokes if they get in the way. Harsh.
Richard Alpert, doesn't he says to Ben, did John see... And never finishes...
What, did John see Jacob?
Well, he never finishes the question. That's
probably what it was, though.
Okay, that's what you're saying.
Yeah, that's what it... Yeah, that came out of my mouth, so yes, that is.
But yeah,
what I
for
am
someone
saying.
like Ben to be, he's very good at manipulating people to say, John had an accident in a really unconvincing way. Just basically insinuating that he did
He was
kill
saying that he shot him, yeah.
which is just...
No, we don't think Locke's dead, do we? No one here would be
It
foolish enough
can't
to...
be. It's Locke,
Well, if you think
surely.
about it, he was shot in a certain place in his stomach.
Yeah.
And he had a certain organ removed slash stolen.
Oh yeah, the old kidneys.
So maybe there's a bit of a gap there.
It would appear though that when Ben does come striding in and he gets a bit stroppy and people start questioning that maybe he's losing his grip on his leadership. It's like it's weird as well. He only sends 10 men. 10 men we've never seen before, so you can be pretty sure most of them are going to die.
The guy who I forget his name, the guy who was the man on point, who he went. I forget his name. The guy went, will you take 10 of your best men? We've seen him before.
Have we?
He was a guy who interrogated, I think, Saeed in the near the playground bit. I'm sure he was.
Oh, okay.
There. Yeah.
Okay.
So he's a kind of like a random other. We've seen bits and pieces of him.
Ben claims that he's bringing the attack forward because Jacob told him to. I don't believe that for 1 second. I just think that he's starting to go insane, which will make me think that Ben is going to die.
I think Ben's always been insane. I think he's a nutter.
Do you still think that whole thing... You don't think that whole thing was in his head, did you?
I think he's making up what Jacob's telling.
Your theory is, and I kind of go along with this, is that he can see Jacob, but he can't hear him.
Well, I've got a few. There's that one, and there's one that he's just a complete psycho with dual personality, and he's made up Jacob.
No, he hasn't made up Jacob, because we saw Jacob.
It's all smokes and mirrors. Smokes and mirrors.
Well, no, we saw a man. We freeze-framed the DVD.
Yeah, smokes and mirrors.
Alex says to Ben, this is a little bit unfair, I think. Alex says, about Ben to Carl, is he my father? That's a little bit unfair, I think, to start throwing in things like that.
We talked about it, didn't we? That the possibility that...
Yeah, but she's not been trusting Ben for ages.
She doesn't have boggle eyes,
really.
She hasn't got boggle eyes, and she's got long, sort of greasy, dark hair, like Rousseau, not like Ben.
Exactly.
But it seems unfair. For ages, who's her dad? Who's her dad? Who's her dad? Oh, Ben's her dad. Ben's her dad. Ben's her dad. Oh no, maybe he's not.
Well, that's just what Lost is. Do we trust that? No, we trust them again. Oh no, they double crossed us. Oh, do we trust them?
We don't know anything about Carl, do we? We don't know who is.
No, he's probably the one who we need to find. A lot more about, because we're assuming he's grew up with Alex and they were mates, or I don't know.
He's got a very big mouth.
He's very animated. Yeah. He's a good animated actor. Yeah.
Okay, we've got an email from Gordon Blair. Oh, that's a topical
clever
reference. They're very clever. It's about Jacob and Ben. Hello, gents. I think the reason Jacob went a bit mental in his hut wasn't because Locke put the torch on. It was because Locke was about to tell Ben that he'd heard someone say, "Help me." Jacob is clearly being manipulated or controlled in some way by Ben and sees Locke as someone who can help free him. I also believe that this has something to do with the powder surrounding Jacob's hut. Ben was agitated and tried to hurry Locke along when Locke was examining it. Perhaps this is the means for control or restraint. That's interesting. One thing which isn't explained is how Ben got to see Jacob in the first place. Presumably, the reason Richard and the others are subservient is they can't see Jacob. Ben becomes leader by default as the only oracle who can commune with Jacob. Knowing how shifty and generally unpleasant Ben is, my guess is that he bumped off any of the original hostiles that were able to communicate with Jacob, thereby guaranteeing his rise to power. Anyone?
Some good stuff in there, actually. I have read online the thing about protection, like the circle of protection. Like, maybe it's not gunpowder, maybe it's ash, some kind of sacred ash that's actually like salt was used by alchemists, like go around a circle to protect things. Am I going a bit spiritual? Oh, a bit paranormal. Oh, Tom's freaking out.
Yeah.
I like the idea that it's some kind of thing that controls that prevents Jacob from crossing that line.
Yeah,
why is
like
that?
Yeah.
Why is that so impossible? Oh, because they've got a sonic fence that you can set to kill or to stun, and when you go through it and it's on stun, blood comes out your ears but you don't die. That's possible, but having some kind of mystical ash that goes around a building that stops an invisible man escaping, that's not possible.
Yes, you said it.
Oh yeah, I've just
you just have.
You say it out loud and it does sound ridiculous, doesn't it?
No, wait, don't back.
No, I'm on your side. Okay, anything else in here that grabbed your fancy? Not really.
That was the best bit, I think. That was
Ben bumping off the original hostiles that can communicate with Jacob.
It's a likely story. It is a likely story.
Okay, we've got an email from Barry about Richard's lack of ageing. Now, this is the thing that's really fascinating me.
Oh, yeah, no, let's do this one.
Yeah, because that could be science, couldn't it? The fact that he doesn't age and he's been there for tens and tens, possibly hundreds of years.
It could be he might have a twin or a clone.
If you say the
word
quasi-science, I will come across the room and I'll belt you one. Because that's what...
Quasi-science?
Go on.
There you go.
That was rubbish. Like that. At least would have taken 5 minits to walk.
But what if... Okay.
30 seconds to walk round.
I'm not a violent man.
Hey, time out. Are you two flirting?
No.
Alrighty. Okay, this is the email from Barry. I think that Richard hasn't aged as he's been exposed to a high degree of electromagnetic radiation. As Locke, Ben and Rose have above average healing powers due to the island exposure, has Richard had Who's laughing?
Me.
Has Richard had overexposure and thus the island has healed his aging cells? Can you answer that question, Paul?
No, but I love the phrase above average healing powers. It's like a top trump skill that, like, Rose 9.5.
Oh, can
Richard Albert 10.
A lost top trumps would be superb.
Let's make them. Yeah.
See, there's a marketing thing they've missed out on there.
Yeah.
We need to have a session playing that lost game.
We should do that after the finale. Have like a big post-season 3 weekend.
Stop talking.
Oh, sorry. Yes, let's stop talking because...
He's getting jealous.
What do you think of this, Geeky Tom?
It's all right.
Okay. You can send your theories to us at lost@sky1.co.uk. lost@sky1.co.uk. Back to the episode, and we're introduced to a new hatch, the Looking Glass.
Ben is using one of the Dharma stations to block all of the signals off of the island except for ours.
What station?
They call it the Looking Glass.
The Looking Glass?
Yes, but it's underwater. I have no idea where it is.
I believe I do.
So, this station, mysterious, spooky, underwater. We've been waiting for an underwater station all series, haven't we? Wasn't there a big talk of there was going to be one right at the start of this series?
Because, I remember, Tom, you had an idea that what was going to be revealed at the beginning of season 3 was some kind of underwater off-island thing.
You did say that, Tom.
That which you know,
it does
smart
sound like
boy.
something I'd say.
Smart man.
Rubbish.
Shut up.
Which you were half right, because the Hydra had bits which were underwater, like, below sea level.
The station, we're told it's used to block signals.
Yeah. We also know there's a sonar boy out there that they use to...
to navigate the things like the submarine in, to help, to guide it in.
Could be attached.
Yeah.
Why is it underwater?
Because Dharma and nutters.
Good analysis there.
I don't know. It's cool. It's good. It makes a good TV show.
What? Surely, okay, you want to stop the signal, instead of diving underwater, cut the cable.
I know.
Cut the cable.
That's an interesting plan, actually.
That's all you need to do, one would think. Was anyone surprised that it wasn't flooded and that there were people on there? I kind of saw that one coming, I think.
No, I didn't. I'm extremely gullible.
I don't know what I thought, actually.
Well, I thought Charlie might make it. I thought that he might be like close to, or he might come to service. Then like Desmond revives him, like he dies, he partially drowns, does the switch, and then
Charlie's going to die. Charlie is going to die.
Really?
Isn't it something like 3 or 5 people I've read? It varies. Some people are going to die at the end of this series. My money so far is Charlie, Bernard, I see them back, wouldn't it?
Oh, poor Bernard.
Bernard's dead. He's staying behind. He's going to die. Juliet, I think, might die.
Really?
Ben, I think, is going to die.
There's some big characters on your.
Yes. And that'll do for the moment.
Tom, any takers on that?
Who do you think's gonna
advancement
die?
on that?
Oh, we said this last week, but it's a bit boring, just repeating ourselves. But yeah, it's probably going to be like, I don't know, Locke will die. Do you want me to say it? Oh no, stop.
Say it.
I'll be quiet. No,
stop. Stop. Go on. Say it.
Paul.
Say it.
And he swore there.
Paul, who do you think's going to die?
Tom, do you want Locke to die? You keep saying Locke's going to die.
I don't want him to, but I've just got a feeling he might do. And then
positive thinking.
Come back to life magically.
Come back to life magically.
Really pushing my buttons.
Oh, really? Shall I step away?
Not in a sexual way.
Not in a sexual way, no.
Cut him off. Go on, get him out, kick him out of the podcast.
Cut him off,
He's rubbish.
Kick him out, he's rubbish. Who are the two women? Two sexy women in an underwater hatch. I love it.
We have a new paradigm on Lost.
Credited as Bonnie and Greta in the
really?
ABC press release.
Oh, right.
Which I was reading
Okay.
earlier on today.
Bonnie and Greta, there we go.
Who the hell are they?
Bonnie-
Dharma leftovers? Are they others? Any ideas, Paul?
I'm assuming they must be connected to what's going on with the other hatches.
I don't know.
Because, they would be a completely different company. They don't even know about the other hatches.
Which would mean they're Dharma then, as opposed to others.
I think they're Dharma. I think they're absolutely 100% Dharma all the way.
So they could be blocking. They could.
okay.
If they're Dharma, this could be interesting because that means they could be blocking the signal. They know not why, and they don't realise. But then they must.
Oh, okay. So you're saying they're doing the whole Marvin Candle thing. They've watched the tape. That's their task.
Possibly,
they're under there doing the thing.
Or
paddling away.
They're keeping the people on the island. Maybe as when the big button pushing explosion.
It would go with the whole two-man thing, wouldn't it? Because when Kelvin said about the Swan hatch, it's always a two-man operation. There's always two people posted in the hatches, so that would follow through with that.
Except
That's
for
cool.
their women. So it'd be two women operations.
But why? Okay, going back to it not being flooded. Why would Ben lie about that? Because Ben told Juliet that something had happened.
Because he wanted them to go down there to turn it off, basically.
But what if he genuinely thinks it is flooded?
Maybe not. I think he wants.
Maybe there's something he doesn't even know.
I think that's part of. He's got no control over that bunker, and he wants people in there to do whatever.
But then they could have taken control of it because they had a submarine, so they could have steamed in there. 18
You reckon the submarine is docked there, as in Alpert and his team?
Yes.
But no, in this season, as in when they've this season when they brought Juliet here, did they do a stop off there to get stuff and say hello and get some sandwiches and then go to the island, talk about bears?
I wasn't listening to a word you said. I was miles away.
Is that your indigestion?
Yeah. Now, Charlie is in the hatch because Desmond has had more of his flashes.
Rescue helicopter. On this beach. This island, that's what you saw. We're getting bloody rescued. I thought you were going to tell me I was going to die again.
Yeah, Charlie.
Wait, what?
If you don't, none of it'll happen. There won't be any rescue. I'm sorry, brother. But this time you have to die.
But Charlie hasn't died. So, does this mean that Desmond is wrong? I suspect he's got the flash wrong, and that the helicopter he sees picking up Aaron and Claire, it isn't going to quite work out like that. Instead of it being a good rescue helicopter, it's an evil capture helicopter.
Or did he say it as an encouragement for Charlie to do
Possibly.
it?
Yeah, we don't know what he saw.
But I quite like it when Desmond was insinuating that maybe he's reading the flashes wrong, as in his destiny is to always save Charlie, because for some reason instead of letting him die.
No, that was.
I've got a feeling he's playing Charlie again. I think he wanted to get hit round the face with that or.
Well, okay, he gets hit round the head. Of course, the last time we saw him get smacked round the face with some form of bat. Was in his episode. Was it episode 8? I think where he goes.
Flashes before your eyes?
Yeah. Well done. But we still don't quite know what the significance of that getting smacked round the face was by. Was it a cricket bat?
Yeah. It seemed to snap him back into normal reality. Well, normal reality, lost reality.
So
island reality.
Can we look forward to Desmond going, in inverted commas, back in time next week as a result of being smacked in the
That'd be
face
cool.
this time. That maybe it's going to set him off on another little jump.
Maybe that's his
rubbish.
trigger, getting hit in the face.
No, that's rubbish. Get hit in the face, go back in
Wet kipper,
time.
rock, bat. Desmond goes back in time to random events.
Now, Charlie's flashbacks, nice.
I really like the Charlie stuff this episode. No, I felt a bit of, emotional moment.
You know what?
It was really moving.
I agree. I know
good stuff.
We were chatting about it, and I know you really want him to die, and I've said I really want him to die too.
Yeah.
I would feel a bit.
Yeah, well, I think Dominic Monaghan rocked this episode completely, and it was really like, the episodes where we've seen the actor completely own the flashbacks and own the scene. He was brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
He owned it because he had something to do this week.
No, it's all little detailed moments.
But he's going to sacrifice his life. I thought the flashbacks, they were all right. They didn't really add anything.
Covent Garden.
Well, it was. As you said, it was one of the better London.
Yeah. They got the front
recreations.
Covent Garden. You're staring at it, going, that's kind of like Covent Garden Station. But I liked all the flashback beats were all related to what he was obviously writing down, but also related to events on the island. I like it when they glue them all together. It was
the girl who he saved from the mugging was Nadia.
Yeah,
so
very cool.
Very cool. Locke's met her as well.
I thought the way she was talking seemed a little bit too knowing. In a kind of these people who's been placed to direct people.
I was thinking time.
She seemed a little bit.
Tom's thinking time is shaking as he speaks. What's wrong?
Just the ring. You know how the ring
he's a ring bearer again. I just thought that
the ring gets passed down from father to son. Yeah. Maybe there's some crazy time loop so that Charlie's always got to go to the islands and kind of push this button, and the ring is the kind of goes round, and he'll go back in time and give it to he's his own dad.
That's as rubbish as the freaks that phone us up on the Lost line. That's
my
awful.
whole ring of protection thing, right, Jake? What was that?
No, just he's his own father type thing. No, it's in the end of Red Dwarf. Where
I'm going to stop you there. You've brought up Red Dwarf. It's not funny. It's not clever. It's rubbish.
Good.
It never did. It's awful.
British.
It's
You're
awful.
not British, are you?
It's awful. Red Dwarf is awful. Oh, smeg this, smeg that. Oh, smeg. Oh, smeg. Oh, there's a cat. Oh, smeg. Rubbish. Crap. It's not science fiction. It's not comedy. It's awful. Now, the busking scene. It looks similar to the scene where he bumps into Desmond in Desmond's flashback.
Maybe it was supposed. I don't know.
No, it wasn't quite the same location. It was a similar location, but it wasn't the same.
It could have been. It could have been sort of shortly after that, and then just a downpour. Or
That's what I think. I think it would have been good if we'd seen Desmond.
It looked like it was linked because he was doing the same song. Was doing Wonderwall, wasn't he? Yeah.
And it started raining.
It did. Oh, well done. Yeah, I'd forgotten that. It did start raining. So yeah.
Now, very exciting, earlier on this week, we sent our very own Paul Terry to a top-secret London location to chat with Marsha Thomason, who plays the mysterious parachute woman Naomi. And we found out she's got a thing for Sawyer.
Marsha, welcome to the Lost Initiative from Sky One. We should start talking about the languages, I think, because the first time we really see your character, Naomi, there's a lot of babble that comes out in like 1,000 different languages.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about how you dealt with that challenge? And
very badly. No, it was funny. When I first, they called me with my flight arrangements and where I'd be staying and all of that, and I was like, could I please see a script? They were like, yeah, we don't have one yet, but you will be speaking Chinese, Portuguese, Spanish. I just didn't know I speak Italian. I did as well. Oh. And I was like, so what? Because I only speak English. Bit of French, anyway, but they gave me CDs of the phonetics. They wrote it down phonetically for me, and they had a dialect coach, say it very slowly for me.
And can you remember anything about like a specific line?
I can remember saying chula shemusha, which is Chinese, and the worst Chinese accent you've ever heard. And I actually studied Russian for 2 years because there was a free trip to Leningrad, as it was called at the time, with a boys' school. I went to an all-girls school, so I took Russian, and all I can say is "Do svidaniya, здравствуйте, спасибо," and "Меня зовут Marsha."
So you're a fan of the show. You were a fan of Lost before you...
Huge fan, yes.
Can you talk a little bit about the first time you saw Lost? Like, was it the pilot episode, or was it a few episodes in? Your first reaction to Lost?
I mean, I'm getting old, so casting my mind back. I know I definitely saw the pilot because I'm friends with Dominic and I wanted to see what it is that he was doing. And of course, I had no idea at the time it was going to become such a phenomenon. So, I just watched the show and I really, really liked it. And then I just continued to watch it and just loved it. I mean, people were crazy about it within minutes.
Yeah. It was quite mad.
And I was one of them.
And what did you think of your friend Dominic's character, of Charlie?
I thought it was great because there's so much of Dom in Charlie. You know, he loves music and, you know, the nail polish and, you know, the Band-Aids and all that. I could just see Dom all over it. I loved it.
And Charlie's character has, you know, helps find Naomi in the jungle with Desmond.
I was really nervous actually because I've always been with a show, you know, from the beginning, and so this was the first time I was joining something. You know, they've been working together for 2.5 years, and I didn't know whether I was going to fit in or, you know, and so I was really happy that my first scene was with Dom and with Jorge and DDK and with Iain, and they were so welcoming and just so lovely, and it was great. I mean, I was playing Scrabble with them within, you know, an hour. we had an ongoing games of Scrabble that whole week that we were doing that. I was lay in the mud. It rained the whole week, and everybody, like my first day, it was raining. I was dressed head to toe in black in a flying suit with a helmet and a mask. I mean, I literally couldn't breathe. It was just awful in 90-degree heat. They were like, "Welcome to Lost." I'd totally been christened.
And there was a bit of sort of previous history with the show with auditioning for other characters.
Yes.
With Nikki. If you could play any other character, including a male character, just for the fact that the character on Lost, what would you like to do if it wasn't Naomi? Just a character on the show which you really love, you think, oh, in another lifetime, even in another parallel dimension, I'd love to get my teeth into that role.
Sawyer.
Really? Why Sawyer?
He's just the best.
You want the lines? You want the catchphrases?
Such an idiot, but so brilliant. He's angry for what? Selfish. Why? Sexy. Yeah. You know what I mean? He's just everything. Such a great role. And that episode where he kills Locke's dad.
Yeah, amazing.
It was so good. Josh really brought it home.
He nailed it.
It was great to see him do that. Because, you know, he gets to do a lot of the fun, kind of comedy, brooding stuff. But this was really dark. It was great. Yeah.
And he's known for his catchphrases, so if he could give a catchphrase...
And by the way, Josh has catchphrases too.
Oh,
he called
really?
me, what did he call me? It was something about my... They kept talking about how pink my lips were, right? Which is kind of a bit rude, but they weren't... I mean, whatever, they were talking about my face.
Yeah.
But then they kept saying, like, they would make... It was a note from up above, you know, from the powers that be, that they needed to, like, darken my lips a bit because I just looked too, you know... healthy or something. So what did he keep calling me? Pinky or something. He's got nicknames for everybody.
Oh, as in the actors
Josh
as well
does,
as the characters. Oh, okay.
It's pretty funny.
Right.
And Pinky's not right. I can't believe I've forgotten that. It'll come back to me.
And what about your character? Do you think he'll form a catchphrase? Has he used a catchphrase on Naomi yet? Or
no.
He's not. What would you think he would call
I didn't really have any scenes with him, actually.
No.
We were in one scene together, but everybody was in the scene. What would he call her? I don't know. Right now, she's so shrouded in mystery, I still don't really know who she is.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mystery girl.
Yeah, that's rubbish.
It's rubbish. He'd probably call you another British catchphrase like he uses for Dominic.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Any other characters which you'd like to... some dream scenes? Maybe Sawyer, who you'd like to have some more scenes with?
I'm going to stop talking about Sawyer. I would love to have some scenes with Locke. I think he's great. Yeah. And Terry's such a lovely man.
He's my favourite character.
Oh, I love him. And he's so handsome. His eyes are just so beautiful. He's a lovely person. And I love working with Naveen as well. Watching Naveen transform from Naveen to Saeed is really quite something. And one of my first big scenes, because I spent most of, my first 2 weeks on the job, 3 weeks maybe, on my back in the mud.
Yeah.
So when I finally got off my back in the mud and was on my back in a tent and actually had a scene, it was with Naveen. I was really nervous about it. And Naveen's really funny and chirpy and daft, and I knew his whole life story literally within half an hour of knowing him. And then he transforms into Saeed, and it's just brilliant. And there was a moment where I thought, as we were doing the scene, and I never do this, I've worked with a lot of very famous people, and there was a moment where I was like, I'm in a scene with Saeed.
That's pretty cool.
And then we had to cut because I've ruined the take.
Thank you very much for
Thank
your
you.
time, Marsha. See you soon.
Welcome.
Thank you.
What was she like then? Nice lady?
Fabulous. Lovely lady. Very, very chatty and very funny.
Okay, well, thanks for going out and doing that. I do appreciate it.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
I know Tom's a little bit jealous. It's tough, isn't it?
Well,
and thanks to Marsha for catching up with us at the Lost Initiative. Anyway, we have got no more time for fun because that's the end, I'm afraid.
What? That's really quick.
Well, because your interview filled out most of it. It means less of me. Never mind, the fans aren't that upset.
Well, you know.
Paul, can you do the episode in one syllable? Geeky Tom, one syllable, sum up the episode?
There's a moo.
I don't know.
It's a cow impression.
Hey, very exciting. It's the end of the series next week. What am I going to do with that for 6 months? It's a double episode finale. 2 whole hours of Lost next Sunday on Sky 1 at 10 p.m. Join us again next week, right after the finale. Through the Looking Glass has been on the telly. I'm Iain Lee, and until then, namaste.
The Lost Initiative is a co-ink production for Sky 1.
We're gonna blow them all to hell.